2021 Eugene City Council public hearing. Thank you for joining us in this remote meeting format we're using as our state and community continue to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. This format enables the City Council to meet and take care of business while keeping everyone safe. Anyone wishing to access the meeting can do so by watching the live stream available on our website, the broadcast on Comcast Channel 21, or by following the instructions listed for this meeting on the public webcast and meeting materials webpage. If you join the meeting via computer, device, or phone, your microphone, webcam, and phone are automatically muted when you enter the meeting as an attendee. There are 3 public hearings on tonight's agenda. For those wishing to testify, please wait to raise your virtual hand until I announce that it is time to do so in my introductory remarks. As a reminder, we are now allowing speakers the option of turning on your video when you are called on to provide testimony. As your turn is announced, the meeting moderator will temporarily promote you to panelist status, and you can unmute and turn on your video if you wish. And we encourage all of you to use this increased access in a responsible way. Our intent is simply to be able to see each other's faces as testimony is given. Any violation of the council's code of conduct will result in immediate termination of your speaking privilege. Finally, if there is testimony you are not able to provide or wish to get to us in a different manner, please feel free to contact any one of us individually or together via email or voicemail. And with that, we have a sort of a unusual ceremonial moment to begin with, and I'm going to turn it over to the city manager.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I'm excited tonight. We have both a notable and fun award to present to you. And we're all joined tonight by Mayor Jeff Gowing from Cottage Grove. And he's been a member of the Cottage Grove leadership for a long time. I think he was elected to council in 2009 and has been serving as mayor since 2017. In addition to all of that, he is the president-elect of the Oregon Mayors Association, and he is a veteran of the U.S. Army. He's also, I think, a 4th-generation graduate of Cottage Grove High School. So if you think about legacy in a community, you are certainly that. So I want to thank you for your service. Thank you for joining us tonight. I know you have a special award to present Mayor Venice, and so I think I'm going to let you introduce that. Thank you.
Thank you. So back in July at the Oregon Mayor's Conference, Mayor Venice couldn't be there, but I got the pleasure of awarding the Oregon Mayor's Leadership Award for Large City, and the recipient of that this year was Mayor Lucy Venice. And so I'm going to go ahead and read the presentation that I gave at that conference, and I do have her award here that I will be giving her in person. So with that, Lucy Venice was elected mayor of Eugene in 2016, taking office in 2017. Her position as mayor is only one example of her commitment to the Eugene community, and serves on and is past chair of the Metropolitan Policy Organization governing the priorities and allocations of the federal and state transportation funding. She serves on the Public Safety Coordinating Council overseeing public safety funding, and is a past board member and development chair of the Oregon Regional Acceleration and Innovation Network that promotes and supports local emerging businesses. As a leader of one of Oregon's largest city, Mayor Venice oversees an amazing broad organization that includes a commercial service airport, a fire EMS department, police department, a robust parks and open space program, as well as stormwater authority and a regional wastewater treatment facility, and a full complement of traditional city services. Despite the size of the city of Eugene, she is highly regarded by employees. Her kind demeanor and trust in the city employees encourages and empowers staff to achieve a high level of success as individuals, as a team. Like all of us here tonight, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought forth for new challenges for the city of Eugene and Mayor Venice. But with these new challenges, Mayor Venice took time to listen deeply, speak authentically, and respond to the needs and input of a diverse and engaging community. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Mayor Venice has been visible spokesperson for the city, amplifying local and regional public health messages and bringing calm comfort to her community in more than 30 videos shared citywide. Mayor Venice has spent a considerable amount of her tenure as mayor creating a culture of inclusiveness, The mayor has noted herself that the city is growing from a large town to a small city. She wants the small city to emerge on a world stage that is one that is equitable. Examples of mayor's commitment to these principles include her chairing the ad hoc on the protection of individuals and groups, leading to the Eugene Sanctuary City Ordinance, and her service of the Executive Committee of Lane County Poverty and Homeless Board, and the Home Board that oversees the grant and expenditure of federal housing funds. In the words of Eugene's council president, council vice president, and city manager, Mayor Venus is a true servant leader, a leader worthy of the 2021 Mayor's Leadership Award for Large Cities. So with that, I am very pleased to have presented this at the conference and to be here tonight to give it to Mayor Lucy Venus. Thank you, and it is an honor to be recognized by your peers.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for really all the work that you do, Mayor Gowing. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah and Claire and Jennifer, for supporting me through this. Thank you to the council. When you read that list of responsibilities of the mayor, it seems pretty daunting. As you were listing that, I was thinking, wow, that's a big job. And we do that work together. I don't do that alone. I do that because there's this wonderful team here of council and city staff, and very much appreciate you taking the time, Mayor Gowing, for presenting that. And I'm very honored, and it made my day when you called me and told me about this. So thank you so very much. I appreciate the recognition.
Thank you, and I'll go ahead and leave your meeting, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, with that, we will move on to the first order of business tonight, which is a public hearing on an ordinance extending the term of ordinance number 19775 and ordinance number 20397, granting to Comcast of Oregon 2, Inc., a franchise for operation of a cable telecommunications system. I now open the public hearing on this ordinance. If you wish to testify, please raise your virtual hand now to join the speaker's queue in one of two ways. For those viewing the meeting on a computer, laptop, or other device, click once on the raised hand icon. For those listening to the meeting on a phone, press *9. Requests will be accepted until the first person begins to testify. Begins speaking. The meeting moderator will unraise or disallow any requests to speak that are made after the deadline. When the hearing begins, our meeting moderator will announce two speakers' names at a time. When it is your turn, the moderator will announce your name and promote you to panelist status. You will have 3 minutes to speak. So, City Manager, would you introduce the topic, please?
Sure, thank you. The city's non-exclusive franchise with Comcast of Oregon 2, a cable provider, is a contract that outlines the conditions under which the company operates its cable television business, which makes use of public rights-of-way for its commercial activities. The ways in which these agreements are created and enforced is governed by city code, federal law, and Federal Communications Commission rules. Eugene, City of Springfield, and Lane County unite in their negotiations and our negotiations with Comcast to create separate but nearly identical franchises. In 2019, the FCC adopted its FCC cable order, which state and local governments, including Eugene, appealed. Although the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals recently ruled against the governments, additional litigation or petitions are likely to be filed and will not be resolved before the current franchise expires on December 31st, 2021. Thus, Comcast and the three jurisdictions are proposing a 1-year extension. This is a public hearing on the proposed 1-year extension of that franchise. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I now formally open the public hearing. Niyah, do we have anybody to testify?
Mayor, there is nobody signed up to testify for this public hearing.
Thank you very much. I will close the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from members of the City Council? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to their second public hearing of the night. An ordinance granting to BNSF Railway Company a non-exclusive franchise to use the public way to construct and maintain private commercial facilities within the city of Eugene. I will now open the public hearing on this ordinance. If you wish to testify, please raise your virtual hand now to join the speakers queue in one of two ways. For those viewing the meeting on a computer, laptop, or other device, click once on the raised hand icon. For those listening to the meeting on a phone, press *9. Requests will be accepted until the first person to testify begins speaking. The meeting moderator will unraise or disallow any requests to speak that are made after the deadline. When the hearing begins, our meeting moderator will announce two speakers' names at a time. When it is your turn, the moderator will announce your name and promote you to panelist status. You will have 3 minutes to speak. And with that, City Manager, would you introduce this topic?
Yes, this feels like the year of the franchise. This public hearing is regarding the renewal of the BNSF Railway Public Rights of Way Use Franchise Ordinance. BNSF Railway was previously named the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad, to which the city previously granted a franchise in 2002. The city's non-exclusive public rights of way use franchise with the BNSF Railway is a contract that outlines the conditions under which the company makes use of specific portions of Eugene's public rights of way for rail facilities. The ways in which these franchise agreements are created and enforced is governed by city code and the city charter. City staff and the city attorney's office worked with BNSF Railroad to review the existing franchise, which was approved by the city council back in December of 2001, to revise outdated provisions to bring them in line with our current preferred language regarding insurance requirements, indemnification, et cetera. We do have staff here available if questions come up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I now open the public hearing. And Niyah, do we have anyone to offer testimony?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay, and with that, I close the public hearing, but I see that Councilor Clark and Councilor Siret both have comments. So Councilor Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. City Manager, I don't want to open a can of worms, but I do want to ask the question. Is there any linkage or opportunity in our franchise provision that coincides well with our work for quiet zones?
I'm not sure if there's been a connection made in this discussion for that. I think this is more specific to, yeah, I just don't know the answer to that.
I ask only in the sense of, you know, the endless effort to try and save the city money. I wonder what we might creatively do that is a win-win that also saves us money with regard to our work in that regard. So,
okay.
I'd love to know the answer to that. Thank you.
Councilor Siret.
Yeah, thank you. My question has to do with the responsibility of the franchisee to maintain the property to a certain standard. So we have challenges with ODOT, you know, letting people camp on their property and you know, tag it. ODOT doesn't clean it up. And I think we have similar problems with Union Pacific. And so I don't know if there's any requirement that a franchisee, you know, pick up the garbage, basically, whether it's left by a homeless camp or some other reason. And if that comes into play with the franchise agreement.
Yeah, we can definitely, I don't know if staff on the call know the answer to that, but we can certainly answer all these questions before you take final action on this.
Thank you. Councilor Evans.
My cursor is never in the right position. Are they specifically outlining projects where they're going to improve their facilities? You know, we've got several places in Eugene where those facilities are lacking and need to be upgraded and improved to the level of safe transport for the cargo that they're carrying. And they're carrying a lot of dangerous stuff, including chemicals and other things that if they have a derailment, they have a spill, whatever the case is, they're responsible for cleaning it up. but they don't always do what they're supposed to do. So, I'm just kind of wondering if they during this period they have a specific list of projects that they're going to be working on, whether it's rails or bridges or whatever the case may be.
Thank you, Councilor Evans. It looks like we have Pam Berrien raising her hand. Maybe she has an answer for that one, or maybe the other ones.
Hi there. With regard to, I think one was talking about trash on if it's on private property. With regard to the roadbed and the crossings, the 5 particular crossings, we in Public Works pays careful attention to roadbed maintenance, and Burlington Northern's responsibility to cooperate and collaborate on roadbed maintenance with regard to the 5 crossings. Now, there hasn't been a question raised by Public Works staff with regard to concern about what they do on private property. And that may be something that we can ask staff to look into with regard to the Federal Railroad Administration. I just don't know about a municipality having that kind of influence with regard to trash on the private property. Now, I do think, Councilor Evans, that asking for a list of any facility upgrades or special projects that might be going on, I think you might mean within the city limits of Eugene. I think that's great information to ask, and I don't think that's particularly proprietary. We talk informally with them as we were going through this process. So I'll pose a question with Public Works staff and see how they feel about it, and see if we can ask the Burlington Northern staff to give us some information.
Yeah, yes, Pam, because there are accidents, there are spills that happen that we don't know about. And we really need to, put our hands around what they are doing and what they're doing to improve their facilities, because they're waiting on the feds to give them money, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
From a safety perspective. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. I'll ask the Public Works staff if we can't have a call with them.
Thank you. Councilor Surratt?
Yeah, thank you. I was just curious about something. I think it was Pam just said about the railroad property being private property. So, but we're providing them with access on our right of way. So would that not be public property?
Yes, our right of way is public property. So Public Works had been concerned about maintenance of the rail beds and them stopping freight trains if they needed to, and in a timely manner for the city to work on the rail beds. I haven't heard of any other issues coming up with or problems in all these years with regard to their cooperation regarding rail bed maintenance. But I think somebody was talking about trash and I didn't know.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you would. Okay. So don't know if you have something in mind.
Well, I think it's a Union. I think the real problem is a Union Pacific problem near Trainson Park, where they allow garbage to be dumped and they do not clean it up. So I don't think it's specifically this railroad, but I'm just asking the question about our allowance of a right of way and then responsibilities that come with being allowed to use that right of way.
We can definitely follow up on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. If those are the final questions, then we can move on to our third public hearing. An ordinance vacating Ferry Alley between East 3rd Avenue and East 2nd Alley and providing for an effective date. And then we'll turn that over to the manager to introduce.
And I think this one is the quasi-judicial script. Okay. So tonight's public hearing is concerning a land use application to vacate improved public right-of-way consisting of Ferry Alley located between East 3rd and East 2nd Alley. The applicant is Jeff Wilson Charles, who owns all abutting properties on either side of the alley. No testimony has been received to date regarding the proposed alley vacation. You're scheduled to take action on the ordinance to vacate this alley at the upcoming October 11th meeting. And we have staff here if you have questions.
Okay, so thank you. I'm about to open this public hearing, so those wishing to speak during this public hearing should now raise their virtual hand to enter the speaker's queue for this item. You may raise your virtual hand joining on a computer, laptop, or other smart device. Click once on the raise *9. Requests will be accepted until the first person to testify begins speaking. The meeting moderator will unraise or disallow any requests to speak that are made after the deadline. When the hearing begins, our meeting time. When it is your turn, the moderator will announce your name and unmute your microphone. You will have 3 minutes to speak. The City Council's role in this process is to approve with modifications, or deny the application. The decision-making process for this application is considered quasi-judicial. So we'll use a quasi-judicial format for this public hearing. To start, do any counselors need to disclose any bias, conflicts of interest, ex parte communications, or abstentions pursuant to EC 9.7065? I am seeing none. Let's see. Have staff received any challenges to a counselor's impartiality submitted pursuant to Eugene Code Section 9.70655? No. Okay. Testimony presented at this public hearing should be directed toward the applicable approval criterion or other criteria that the speaker believes apply to the decision. The applicable approval criterion for this vacation application is at Eugene Code Section 9.8725. The full text of the criterion is available in the AIS for this public hearing. The failure of anyone to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the City Council and parties an opportunity to respond will preclude appeals on that issue. Traditionally, once the public hearing is opened, speakers are called in the following order. First, those in support, second, those with a neutral position, and third, those opposed. However, due to the limitations of the virtual hearing platform, we have to make an adjustment. The applicant will be first to speak if they plan to present. Then testimony will be received in the order that interested parties have requested to speak. Finally, the applicant will have the opportunity to make a final statement. When you are called to speak, please give your name, address, and clearly state whether you support, oppose, or are neutral to the application. You will have 3 minutes to comment. The timer and lights on the podium indicate the time you have to speak. A yellow light will come on when you have 15 seconds to complete your comments. The red light indicates the end of the 3 minutes. I now open the public hearing. First, I would like to invite the applicant or applicant's representative to speak on behalf of their project. Following their testimony, we will begin calling individuals to speak in the order that hands have been raised.
Thank you, Mayor. So first we have Rick Satry, followed by Bobbie Rosenberg.
Good evening, Mayor and councilors. Rick Satry with the Satry Group. Our office is 375 West 4th Avenue in Eugene. We are in Councilor Surratt's ward. I'm speaking tonight on behalf of the applicant 3 Muses Group LLC, and I've offered the following testimony for your consideration. You have before you in your AIS and a draft ordinance, as well as findings, documentation that the applicant satisfies the applicable criteria found in the Eugene Code. As described in your agenda materials, this is as follows. Number 1, notice was duly given. 2, signed consent forms from abutting and affected property owners was submitted. 3rd, statements of concurrence from affected utility providers was also submitted. 4th, Eugene Public Works staff have granted their concurrence of this vacation application. 5th, the Eugene Planning staff's conclusion is that this request is indeed in the public interest. So I'm keeping it short and brief. And with that, in summary, we thank staff for their assistance in processing this application. I and the applicant are available should the mayor or the councilors have any questions this evening. And in advance, we thank you for your support of this request. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Next is Bobbie Rosenberg, followed by Dan Hughes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, my name is Bobbie Rosenberg, and I am calling to offer a public statement. I am not a party to the redevelopment. I am a tenant in one of the buildings adjacent to where the proposed redevelopment will happen. And I'm representing my office. Our address is 440 East 2nd Avenue, so we're just to the north of the alley. And we are in favor of the redevelopment because we believe it will help clean up the neighborhood and bring in different clientele that will make it a safer area to be. I'm there often at night, and I would love to see other patrons of the proposed restaurant there, people walking around and so forth. So I just wanted to voice my opinion to say we would like to have them redevelop the building.
Thank you, Bobbie. Next.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Next is Dan Hughes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I am co-owner of Cold Fire Brewing, one of the tenants in the abutting property. We are very much in favor for predominantly the same reasons that Bobbie just voiced. It's a safety concern. We feel that anything that we can do to raise the overall view of the neighborhood, increase traffic, pedestrian, and just bring more people to that neighborhood in a positive manner would be of great benefit for all of us.
And thank you, Dan. Mayor, that concludes the rest of the speakers for this public forum, public hearing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to those of you who testified. Is there any staff response to anything that was stated in the hearing? Please.
Yes. Hi, Nick Joyello, Associate Planner, City of Eugene. I'm the planner of record for this alley vacation. Nothing to respond to in what was said, except there are two things that were mentioned in the AIS, and I'd just like to provide a little more information. Since the publishing of the AIS, I have not received any public testimony since that time, so I wanted you to all to be aware of that. And secondly, we have received the $33,550 deposit from the applicant for the valuation of the actual alley. So we have that on hand.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions that counselors need to pose to staff? Okay, seeing none, does the applicant wish to make any additional final statement?
No, Mayor, we do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will close the public hearing, and unless there are objections from the council, I will close the record for this application. I'm not seeing any objections. So the public hearing and record are closed. As a reminder, deliberations and possible actions are scheduled for October 11, 2021. And with that, we are finished with our business of the evening. So thank you all. We are adjourned.